Hello and welcome to this introductory tutorial on Omniverse softbodies. This tutorial will take you through what Omniverse softbodies are, how they are useful, and will show you how to get started using Omniverse softbodies in your next Omniverse creation. It's a fairly simple process that pretty much anyone can do. Ready to dive in? Okay, let's get started and let's have some fun. First off, we need to understand what a softbody is. In essence, a softbody is a kind of simplified cage that encapsulates a mesh. Then, when forces act on the cage, your mesh deforms accordingly. This results in rather believable-looking impacts and momentum-based deformations. It may sound a bit complicated, however most of this is automated and managed rather easily. Best of all, virtually any mesh can have this physics applied to it. Now, with this foundational understanding, let's run through the basic setup process. To demonstrate, I will be using Omniverse Create, which is available in the Omniverse launcher. However, any Omniverse kit-based app with physics enabled will be able to follow along similarly. Now, let's begin by creating a new scene. Let's go File, and then New. Excellent. Now, let's go to Create, Mesh, and select any mesh you like. I'll choose the cube to demonstrate how the Jello cubes were made from the opening scene. Okay, now that we have a mesh, let's add a floor. Let's again go to the Create menu and select Create, Physics, Ground Plane to give us something to bounce on. Now, let's move our cube up a bit like so. Nice. Yeah, that'll work. Just so that we can see, let's go ahead and select the Environments tab, and then select a nice environment, and we should be golden. Now finally, let's add some color to our cube. For that, select the cube, then hit Create, Materials, Omniglass. Now in the stage, let's locate our material if it's not already selected, and then let's edit the properties. A little tinkering is all it takes to get a nice, glossy-looking, translucent Jello surface. Be sure to check the different render modes if you are planning to output in something other than real-time. Okay, there we go. Good enough. Now, let's put a smile on our faces, shall we? Select, then right-click on the cube, and select Add, then Physics, then Deformable Body. Okay. Let's hit play. Smiling yet? Notice how the cube bounces and deforms as it hits the floor. If we stop, the cube is returned to its original position. Now let's rotate our cube a bit so we can get some more interesting collisions with the ground. Cool, looking good right out of the box. Now let's go ahead and see what some of the adjustments do. Let's select our cube and check in the Properties panel. If you scroll down to the Physics section, you will see all the properties we need under Deformable Bodies. There are a lot of settings in here, but for most objects, only a few are needed to dial in your deformables. Firstly, we have the Simulation Mesh Resolution, found right here. Technically speaking, this increases the resolution of the softbody cage used in the simulation. However, for practical purposes, it acts like a deformation amount. By increasing the resolution, you will get more deformation, while lower numbers will make it more stiff. This is something you really will want to tinker with to find the perfect amount of flex. Next up is Vertex Velocity Dampening. You can think of it kind of like friction, and it's a useful way to get rid of unwanted jitter that is typical when a number of softbodies rest upon each other. Cool. If you find objects passing through other objects, which happens sometimes with very high velocities, enabling CCD can help. The cost for the precision, however, is performance. You should use this only when it's necessary. Okay, the last setting I want to call out here is Solver Position Iterations, under the Advanced tab. It is basically how accurate you want the simulation to be. Generally, the default settings are good. However, on scenes with fast motion or lots of interacting bodies, turning this up, again, increases accuracy at the cost of performance. The remaining settings can be used to control offsets, and other minor tweaks helpful for very small or very large objects. Feel free to play around with them, but the ones mentioned should give you a very good result rather quickly. I'd stick with them before adventuring into the more arcane settings. Now, because it's totally awesome, I would recommend repeating the process with some other primitives. Add in some objects to collide with, and have some fun. Go ahead and get creative. If you want more meshes, be sure to check over in the Assets store for an assortment of free assets, including, yep, you guessed it, candy. Isn't that sweet? Okay, so that basically is all there is to creating soft bodies in Omniverse. Effectively, it's a one-click process on any existing mesh, and can add dynamicism to your Omniverse scenes. Go ahead, make something great, and I'll see you in the next tutorial. Thanks for watching, and bye-bye for now.